Here's your smart fact of the day. Here's a weird thing. Duolingo has given me my year in review. I thought only Spotify did that, but Duolingo, the place where I'm learning French from, that app, it says that I've completed 100 lessons in French this year and my average lesson accuracy was over 87%. Wow! I'm amongst the top 18% of amongst all learners this year. And I earned 1628 XP. I have no idea what that means. But I could go on and on. I'm not going to. Welcome to Smarter with Sid. And in today's episode, what I'm going to do is not give you facts about my expertise in French over 100 lessons on Duolingo, but what Duolingo's expertise is in gamification that is making it succeed. So let's go. Over the past few podcasts, what I've been trying to do is talk about marketing things that are changing and perhaps marketing things that need to change over the next year, 2023. For all of those who are interested in marketing as a discipline, but not just marketing, but even business and general work, right? It's always a critical thing for us to understand how these things really go. So we've covered a couple of things so far. One of them was customer loyalty and retention. The second was customer experience. Today, I wanted to talk about what Duolingo is doing really well. And in fact, I'm going to use a different company's example for it. I'm going to use Spotify first. Of course, people have spoken so much about Spotify, but it sets the context really well. I think Spotify has been doing it for a while, but Spotify gives the year in review to a lot of its, to almost everybody of its customers. And YouTube also has been doing the year in review. And it kind of makes you feel special, doesn't it? It makes you feel special. There's a little amount of personalization that's involved. It also helps you understand, how unique you are as compared to everybody else. And it has got a lot of shareability value to it, the whole Spotify exercise. And I think that that's a great context for us to actually understand how marketing can use an event, can create an event out of data. And that event doesn't exist, but it's kind of connected to the end of the year, kind of wherein we are winding down, understanding where we did well, understanding what we can do better. We are all in New Year resolution and goal setting mode. And these companies are doing really well. Spotify, YouTube have done fantastically well. Now, that's the context. How people can use data, create some events around data, and make it a sort of a marketing thing for, retaining existing customers as well as attracting people and putting it up high on the awareness stage. So where does Duolingo come into this? Now, Duolingo, for anybody who's not yet downloaded the app and tried to learn some language, Duolingo is a wonderful app. You can download it. There's a freemium, it's a freemium model. So essentially you can use the free version, keep earning those hearts. And if you've ran out of luck or steam or streaks, then you could purchase some things and you could or listen to some advertising. So it's got a lot of revenue streams to it. But what Duolingo does really well, and I can vouch for it as a user because I've been learning French on Duolingo. I started learning French on Learn French with Alexa, which I've spoken about in an earlier podcast, and that is pretty good. And I do go over there from time to time to learn basics and grammar, but Duolingo has got me hooked. It just takes 5 minutes for me. And trust me, this is not an ad for Duolingo. Look at me. I am an advocate. This is what Duolingo has achieved. It takes 5 minutes for me to learn French every day. It's a gamified experience. So I know that, I know what's going to happen, but I am playing French like a game. It is a gamified experience at many levels because the first level is, okay, I am going through the whole 15 questions that are being asked in 5 minutes. And, I have to go through that level and I earn a few hearts at that level. And it's a big difference to the way in which I feel I look forward to learning new things the next day. The next level is I also am competing with people who are in my sector. So if I'm over 90%, which sadly I'm not, then I will be competing with people who are like me. I can form a group with them. I can compete with them. I can perhaps do a lot of things with them. I haven't done a lot of this, but I know somewhere at the back of my mind that I need to do better because of this whole peer pressure thing. Now, imagine Duolingo has achieved something really interesting because it has created peer pressure out of parasocial relationships that I might end up having on this app, but that too for a good purpose. Now, gamification is a very interesting thing because it is incentivizing me. Now, it is incentivizing me in two ways, right? The first way is positive incentivization, wherein I feel motivated, not serotonin maybe, but dopamine is coursing through my veins every single time I crack a 90% or 87% or whatever and reach the end of the 5 minutes at, with least damage done to the hearts that I own. But it's also creating a different kind of, incentivization. That's the negative incentivization. Positive incentivization is what I'm feeling. Negative incentivization, I don't want to lose out. I don't want to miss out on a streak, and I don't want to miss out on, the top 15 percentile and the rest of it, because it is carrying some weight in my subconscious. I keep pretending that it's not, but it is. Now, the Duolingo app is an educational app. It is obviously adding a lot of core values there. Otherwise, I wouldn't have continued for all the gamification in the world, right? But the gamification is the heart of the app. Because, I have switched from Learn French with Alexa, which is also good. I still love that lady who teaches and the rest of it. But it is passive. And for existing customers and their attention spans and for their active involvement, I think Duolingo is the way to be if you're in an educational space, but also in a non-educational space. You could very well be in a social network, or you could very well be watching an OTT platform like Amazon or Netflix, or you could very well be in a retail store. There are so many ways and places in which gamification can be used to enhance customer experience and make existing customers swear by you, which is interesting because it is not the core product, but it's still the heart of the product. So I would call it, the enhanced product, which is like, okay, there's a core product and then there's an enhanced product, which is also the gamification layer over here. I would recommend taking lessons from Duolingo and kind of applying it to our sector. So you might be in pharmaceuticals, you might be in fashion, you might be in banking, you might be in education, you might be a dentist for all I care, but can you use gamification to keep your existing customers coming back to you for a reason that goes beyond your core product or service? I think that is the absolute point over here. And in a recession, I think this is the first principle that I am talking about. Go beyond the core product, see where your service levels can be enhanced, see where your customer retention can be enhanced, see where your experience can be enhanced. And if you can use gamification, why not? Why not? I hope you liked this specific episode of Smarter With Sid. I'm making this series all about these new things that we could think about doing in 2023. And if you got any ideas about how we can make this better, or if you got any suggestions for me to cover, do reach out to me on LinkedIn and on Instagram, where I am the traveling professor. I'll be happy to listen to you and take requests for future podcast episodes. And hey, if you like podcasts like these, first of all, like and subscribe to my podcast, and also check out all the wonderful stuff that IVM's got going for you. On that happy note then,